back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Maddie, and welcome to a new series I'm starting called Reading Everywhere But My House. I am 100% a homebody. There's no doubt about it. I love being at home and I love reading a good book in the comfort of my home. But it is finally summer here in Amsterdam, and when the sun is out and it's over 70 degrees, they have a rule here, and it's that you have to go outside because honestly, you don't know when the sun is going to come back next. So let's take this hobby of mine on the road. I am no stranger to reading at the park, but I also want to explore a few more outdoor areas that I've never read at before, see if they're quieter than my go-to of Vondel Park. And I haven't been to the library here yet, and I hear it's a great spot and that there might be AC there. I don't know, could be wrong, but I hear it's beautiful. They have a gorgeous cafe you can read at, and it is just too damn hot in this house. It's cooler outside with a breeze. So let's get into this video. Let's see where we can find a new quiet spot to read. My first location I will be going to is a favorite of mine, and that is Vondel Park. Now, it does get loud here, and that's one of the main reasons why I like to read at home, is because I'm one of the crazy ones that needs complete silence to read her book. Otherwise, I'm reading the same page over and over again. But I'm going to take some noise canceling headphones, and let's see how much reading we can get done. The book I'm going to be starting with is Girl Abroad by Elle Kennedy. It's been sitting on this shelf for a while now, and I need to read it or get rid of it. I'll update you guys with my thoughts on the book when I get back from the park.
I don't wanna call you later. You're tearing my heart up like it's paper, and somehow you turn to a stranger. We used to work, now I'm trying to make sure that we're both on the same.
Okay, wait, I actually got a lot of reading done at the park. I read 100 pages of Girl Abroad by Elle Kennedy, but the sun went away when I was there and it was super cloudy. It's all right, I'll get tan another day. And one of the main reasons why I actually read so much today is that it was quiet. There weren't a ton of people out since it did end up getting cloudy. And because of these bad boys, I was able to focus. These are the best noise canceling headphones I've found. It doesn't completely cancel out the surrounding noise, especially if people are talking so loud. And if you put on music too, then that kind of drowns out any surrounding noise as well. My thoughts on the book. Also, if you saw me reading on my Kindle, I did not buy the book. It's on Kindle Unlimited right now, but it definitely wasn't on Kindle Unlimited at the time I purchased this. Otherwise, I wouldn't have purchased this because I love when things are free. But I guess Kindle Unlimited isn't really free. You know, this book is all right. I've read other books by Elle Kennedy that I've liked more than this one, but it definitely has my attention. It is about Abby, who moves to London to study abroad, and when she gets to the house to meet her roommates, she finds out she's living with all men. Ah, I know, scary. She decides to live with these 3 men because she has no other place to stay, and living with these male roommates is important to the story because there's a love triangle. I will say, the love triangle is not who I thought it would be between, unless things are going to change. I don't know, because I am halfway through the book right now, and I know the 2 people it's between, but maybe a third option will soon become available. Who knows? I don't have a person I'm rooting for either. I don't feel strongly about either of the choices. You know, it's not like a Team Conrad, Team Edward situation. They both are just right now. But it is a pretty thick romance book, so maybe I will prefer one versus the other as I get further into it, and maybe I'll let you guys know. The romance isn't that interesting to me right now, but the side plot is very intriguing. Basically, Abby is doing this research project for one of her college classes, and she has to uncover a mystery. And I do love a thriller, so I'm glad that there's some sort of mystery to uncover here, and maybe it will play into the love triangle. I don't know. The only thing that is bothering me with this book is that some of the sentences are just like, I don't know, maybe it's Abby's inner monologue that's bothering me, but some of the things that are said should just be implied. I don't know, it's very obvious. For example, the way she's describing these boys, she's like, my jaw is on the floor, blah 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 blah, and I don't like the way these men are being described. Of course the male main characters are going to be attractive. That's implied in every romance, is that there's some sort of attraction. So the way that she talks about them, I'm just like, girl, you sound like a 12-year-old right now. You sound like me when I was talking about One Direction in 7th grade. And then some sentences are just silly, is the best way to put it. She was talking about how she came home from class and took off her bra and changed into sweatpants because bras suck. I can't make this up. That was an actual sentence. Bras suck. Yeah. I don't know. It's not bothering me that much, but I just thought I would point it out. Definitely not going to be a 5-star read here, but I am having a good time and I'm glad I'm finally reading a book off of my physical TBR. I'll let you guys know when I pick this up next. Also, I forgot to mention this in the intro. This is a challenge video. You know, I'm finding new spots to read for a week. I'm leaving the house more, which is the biggest challenge for me, but I'm also still reading at home. So it's not like I can only read if I leave the house for a week. No, that's not happening. I'm still reading at home, but I'm also adding some elements to this reading vlog as well. You know, I'm reading outside, I'm finding new places to read and whatnot. Don't be like, oh, you're not supposed to read that right now, because guess what? I'm going to read this book at home as well. I will update you guys when I do something crazy next. Hey guys, I'm about to go for a walk and listen to an audiobook. I'm leaving my house, so that counts for this video, right? I'm starting a new book, and it is one I heard Heather McLary recommend. It's called I Let You Go by Claire McIntosh. And Heather raved about this book in her last video. It's a thriller, and she says it's really sad, which I don't feel like many thrillers are sad. I mean, they are sad, but you don't feel the emotions usually because you realize it's a story. But she said this book had her on edge and also sobbing. I was gonna say I'm excited to read it, but I'm not really excited to read it if it's that heartbreaking. We shall see. I'll let you guys know my initial thoughts when I get back from my walk. I never updated you about the summary of the audiobook I'm listening to. These aren't spoilers, I promise you. It's on the back of the book and also on page 1 of the book. So Jenna is our main character, and there's a tragic accident and something happens to her son. The summary on the back of the book doesn't give you much, but I assume this book is about her trying to figure out what happened, and the story hints at her having a past, or maybe there's someone out there that wants to hurt her or wants to get revenge or something. She moves to the coast to get away from the accident, and I guess we're going to figure out what happened in her past. I don't have any strong opinions about it so far. I'm only 12% into the book, and it is told between Jenna and then the lead detective in the case, because right now they don't even have a suspect. I'm now going to get ready because Sam and I are going to go read by a canal. It's a quieter one. It's not in the city center, so it will be peaceful, hopefully. We're going to read, open a bottle of wine, and enjoy the sunshine while it's still out. I've never actually read over by this area, but I walk by it or bike by it, and that's where I got this idea. So I'll see you guys later.
Saw your silhouette in the backlight. Swear we could have met in a past life. Dreaming every night like the last time. So I end all my days with you. Yeah, we should share a backseat in a taxi to get home. No need for either of us at this point to sleep alone. 'Cause I don't like.
Hey guys, it's the next morning. I did end up reading a good chunk of the book last night at the park, maybe 60 pages. And then we came back, had dinner, I read more, and when I woke up this morning, I finished the book. I only had about 30 minutes left. And here are my final thoughts. I think I said earlier how there is a mystery element to this book because she's doing a research project. She stumbles across this painting at an estate sale, and there's no information on it. The people working at the sale have no idea who this woman is because it's a painting of a woman. She knows that it's not a part of like the royal family that lives there. I don't even know. These people have some type of power. And so she's trying to figure out who got this painting of her. So I'll stop there before I get into it. And at the end, she does figure out how this woman is connected to the family, and it's a really satisfying ending as far as the mystery element being solved. But as far as the romance, it's a love triangle, like I said, and I truly did not know who she was going to pick at the end of it. And then it came to me who she was going to pick. Finally, in the last 10 minutes of the book, it made sense for her, and I ended up liking this guy more than the other options. So that was satisfying as well. I just didn't really feel their love for each other. I don't know. I feel like the romance came out of nowhere, and I didn't really feel the connection for either of the guys. But she, you know what? Abby did. Abby picked someone, so good for her. I would rate this book 2.5 stars. I'm thinking of other romances I read that were just mid and kind of comparing it to them. And I would say I like this more than a few 2-star romances I've read lately. So 2.5 seems fair. Not quite 3 stars. It's an easy read. I read this in what, 3-4 days, and overall not a bad time. Don't think I would recommend this one to people unless you're maybe getting back into reading. Nothing special, but not bad. I'd be so mad if someone said that about my book, but I like Elle Kennedy, and I've rated other books by this author way higher. I think I even gave The Deal 5 stars. I'm glad I finally read this off of my physical TBR. Might be unhauling this one though. Now it is Saturday and we have some plans to go to the beach. The beach is a little over an hour away from us on the train, and honestly it's the closest we'll probably ever live to the beach, so we need to take advantage of it more. It's going to be hot today and the UV is going to be high for here. I think it's going to be 8, so I'm gonna go get my tan on at the beach. Sam is of course going with me, and I'll let you know what book I end up starting, because now I have to start a new book at the beach, which is not ideal because I feel like sometimes it's hard to focus. I mean, I've said this before, it's hard for me to focus when there's noise around, but I'll take my noise canceling headphones and see what book on my Kindle interests me at the moment. We've only been to the beach once while we're here. So what are we doing? Let's go to the beach and get some reading done.
I can't get enough. No, I can't get enough. I'm falling in love. You're all I'm thinking of. Taking my time, messing my life, swear it don't matter.
Hey guys, it's been a few days since we went to the beach, and this series is about to be over because the beach was way more trouble than it's worth, in my opinion. I made it seem like it was a quick little train ride to get there, and it is, but there's a huge celebration going on that weekend and the direct train wasn't running. We knew that, but we figured everything would go smoothly, and it honestly did. It just took way longer than we thought it did, and way longer than it was supposed to get there. So by the time we got there, we sat there for an hour and a half and read, and I did get some reading done and it was nice. But I looked at Sam when I had to go to the bathroom, and I was like, when I go to the bathroom, do you just want to pack up and leave and like get started on the journey back, since it's gonna take almost 2 hours? And he looked at me and was like, yeah, I've been dreading I've been dreading the way home. So we didn't stay long. The way back ended up being shorter and a more realistic commute to the beach. Unpopular opinion, I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion, the beach is only fun when you're 5 steps away from it, or a 10-minute walk, or you rented a house that's 5 minutes away from the beach. It's only fun when it's easy, you know? Because going to the beach itself is a hassle. I thought I was a beach person, but maybe I'm not. Basically, I'm just mad because I didn't even get in the water, and I could have just laid out in my bathing suit at Vondel Park to get a tan, because that's all I wanted, was to get tan. And did it work? No. Sorry for that rant. It's literally not an issue. I just thought I would update you, and that's part of the reason why I don't leave my house, because it's just so much better to be at home. It really is. We did have fun though, and I did get some reading done on the way there. I was trying to figure out what book I wanted to read next, since I had to start a new one at the beach. And I was between a few, but I'm saving a few books I want to read for another video I'm currently filming. And I decided to just pick up another easy romance that I could fly through, and I honestly almost finished it in one day. But I did it. I picked up Older by Jennifer Hartman. I've read a few books by this author, mostly when I got back into reading, and I loved them. But upon picking up this one, my tastes have definitely changed. I read 45 pages of it at the beach, and when I got home, I was like, should I keep reading it? It could get better. Should I DNF it now before I'm in too deep? And I just wanted to read in that moment, so I kept reading. But now that I'm 70% into it, I should have DNF'd it, but I'm in too deep now. I have to finish it for the Goodreads goal. Basically, it's a taboo romance. It's an age gap, and I did want to read it in the moment because I just finished Problematic Summer Romance by Ellie Hazelwood, and this has an age gap in it, and the trope is really well done in this book. I love this book. I gave it 5 stars, but I'm not feeling the same way about Older. I do want to go to the library in this video, but until then I've got some errands to run, so I'm going to be listening to my audiobook, I Let You Go. I'm currently 30% into it, and it's kind of slow right now, but I'm sure things will turn around like every thriller does. And technically I'm not going to be reading at home while I run these errands, so go me. See you guys later. To read Older, and I regret it because I decided I no longer cared, but I was already so far into it that I just wanted to finish it. And it was one of those books that it was so bad, like everything was going downhill and everything was falling apart, that I genuinely wondered how the author was going to create a resolution. But she did. It didn't work for me. I loved other books by Jennifer Hartman when I was getting back into reading, but I don't think it's my taste now, and that's okay. I did skim the last 30%. I think my Kindle said I had an hour and 49 minutes left, and I finished it in 40 minutes. Now that that book is dead and gone, I want to update you on the audiobook I mentioned in a few clips. It's called I Let You Go. Update: I'm scared of men. I mean, I've always been scared of men, but this book confirms that. I don't know, I'm just so creeped out by one of the narrators. We now have a third point of view. This is unrelated. Actually, it's not unrelated. I saw there's a plane flying over. I saw Meg Hughes on TikTok talk about how a horror movie allows men to understand how women feel on the daily. Like, we're always scared someone's lurking around a corner, or I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, you're just always on edge as a woman because people are terrifying, and I have not been creeped out by a thriller in a while, but I just don't like listening to it. Hearing it is a whole different story. I like reading thrillers and stuff, and I used to love Criminal Minds and Law and Order. I can't watch that stuff anymore. It scares me now. My other update on that is it got good, although it is creepy, especially hearing the narrator. It took a turn for the better. It has captured my attention now, and I really want to finish it in this video. I've been listening to it on my walks, walking to Pilates, walking to the grocery store, just around the house, and it's good. I want to see what's going to happen. And we are going to one more location in this video. I've mentioned it a few times, but tomorrow I'm finally going to the library to meet up with my friend Sarah here. I'm so excited. I don't have a library card, but the library is free to use for anyone, at least the facilities. I didn't get a library card when I moved here because I already had 2 library cards, and I could still use the Libby app, and also I didn't know if they had a huge English selection here, and I didn't want to find that out the hard way because you do have to pay for it, so I didn't want to pay for it and then find out they don't have as many options. I don't even know if they have a Libby app. I'm sure they would simply answer my question if I ever went, but I didn't need a library card because I have 2 library cards that still work back home, but one of them expired right when we moved here, and the other one is about to expire in a few weeks, and I'm so upset because all of my holds I've been waiting for months are just going to vanish, and there's no way for me to renew it, really, especially since I don't have a US address. and won't for another year at least. That has nothing to do with anything. I mean, kind of, because I'm talking about the library, but all I want to say is I'm going to the library. I haven't been before because I didn't feel the need to get a library card, but everybody's been telling me the restaurant at the top floor of this location has an outdoor patio and they have coffee and it's just a vibe. So we're gonna go check it out, get some reading done. I did start another book. I'm going to talk about it more in another video, but I'll show you what I'm reading, maybe talk about it a little bit, and then wrap up my final thoughts on I Let You Go. See you guys at the library. I can't wait. It's the next day and I'm finally going to the library. Let's go.
But your parents came in the cul-de-sac, leaned back in a leather-clad seat, pack of spirits in your Prada bag. Suburban summer 17 was a roller coaster ride, a manic pixie dream girl right beside me, and she said she liked me, but I bet it was a right thing lining up at the wrong time. And I think maybe if I'd held on tight, she'd still be sitting by my side. I'll never know, I'll never know. I don't like messing with regrets, but I doubt you'd ever leave my head. What could I have done, could I have said? I'll never know, I'll never know.
Hey guys, I'm back from the library and my little adventure. I actually got a lot of footage while we were there, so slay, but I just wanted to give you a rundown of how much reading I got done and if I would read there again or what my experience was like. I sound so stupid. I'm like, let me tell you how my experience was at the library. Girl, you're not gatekeeping the library, like, duh, but you know what I mean. Every library is different, and I learned that today because this library is superior. My library at home is quaking. My library in Atlanta should be embarrassed. I wanted to go to this specific library even though it is further away from where I live because everybody says it's amazing. And then of course they have a cafe there and a rooftop patio where you can sit outside, drink a coffee outside and read, which is kind of what we wanted to go there for. And when my friend Sarah and I got there, it was still raining and nobody was sitting outside. So we just sat and talked inside and cooled down because we were sweating. The weather has been hot but rainy, so humid. I don't know, it was weird. So we couldn't focus on reading until we kind of just cooled down. We didn't end up getting a coffee because we were like, we don't want to drink anything that's hot right now. We were just having a moment and we were really sad that it was super windy and rainy because the vibe would have been different outside because we stepped outside for a minute and it was so much cooler. I got some clips outside and it is so beautiful. You can see part of the city and the water, but it would have just been a hassle to sit out there today. However, we will definitely be going back. It would have been quieter to read outside because with like the wind and whatnot, it would have muffled a lot of the talking. But inside, it's more than just a cafe at the top floor. It's a full-blown restaurant. And so it was just a little bit noisier than we would have liked it to be. So I don't know if I'd read inside again, but I mean, I would eat up there. It was beautiful. And the library there had so many English books. I'm sure the one closer to me has amazing options as well. But since this is the biggest library in Amsterdam, could be lying, I don't know. They just had so many popular books right now and multiple copies of them. So it's good to know that I can get a library card if I want to since my other one's expiring. I don't know if they have Libby. Maybe they have some other type of app where you can sync books to your Kindle, but it would be worth paying for a membership. That's the only difference here is you do have to pay for a yearly library pass. This library had 7 or 8 floors, rooftop patio with a full-blown restaurant. They had another cafe on the first level, so many study rooms. There was even like a conference going on right now. You could literally fit an entire corporate office building in there with 6 million employees. They had beautiful restrooms. Everything was super modern. I don't know, it was gorgeous. I will be going back and I'll probably be reading on a different floor because the rooftop was loud, like I said. However, the rooftop patio on a beautiful day could change everything. We did get some reading done there, and then Sarah wanted to go try this coffee place she's never been to before, and I've never been to this location either, and it was beautiful. It's called Lot 61. There's another location I've been to that's smaller and doesn't have all of the fun drink options, so it was cool to see this one, and the vibe was so different, but our drinks were good. We got an iced caramel macchiato. Insert screeching bald eagle here. Just kidding, I don't know how to do that, but it was nice to have an iced drink. I'm being so dramatic. I make an iced latte every day at home, and most of the cafes here have an iced latte. We were just having a moment this morning, and we just needed an iced latte to revive ourselves and to get back into reading, and we did. I ended up reading, I don't know, close to 100 pages. We read at Lot 61 too. I just put my noise canceling headphones in because it was really loud there. Would read there again. They also had outdoor seating, and it's fun to read with somebody because then you feel the pressure to like finish a chapter and just keep going instead of picking up your phone. Because when I'm at home, I'm like, oh, once I finish this chapter I can play on my phone, or you know, I'll get distracted. But when you're sitting next to someone, you want to keep reading and not pick up your phone and get distracted. That's silly, I know, but that's just my truth. I didn't mention the book I currently am reading on my Kindle because I'm going to talk about it more in another vlog coming soon. Hopefully. I have not been on my vlogging or reading game. I'm currently reading Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. This is my first book by Kennedy Ryan, and I'm 43% into it, and I'm really enjoying it. Don't forget to subscribe and see my full thoughts in that video, hopefully coming this time next week. I am also trying to finish that audiobook before this video goes live. So I will come back to you guys with that final update for this video and kind of wrap up my thoughts on reading everywhere but my house. Spoiler, my thoughts are that it's so much better just reading at home, but it's good for me to go out of my comfort zone. I finished Before I Let Go this morning, the audiobook I was listening to in this video, and I really enjoyed it. It's a thriller I would recommend, and it felt different from a lot of the other thrillers I've been reading this year, because once you read one popular thriller like The Housemaid, for example, every story after that you read that is just a little bit similar to it feels like the same story, but this one felt unique in some aspects, and I really enjoyed it. It did creep me out, especially listening to it, because it felt a little too real. Felt like this could happen, and it does happen, and I didn't like that because I get scared easily. And then at the end, the author, I think she said she went to police academy or training or something like that, and she had a case just like this that they never solved. So didn't like that, but it was really well done. Definitely recommend it, especially if you want to read a book that everyone and their mother is not talking about right now. I say that like this is a new author. Claire McIntosh is not a new author. This book alone has 100,000 reviews on Goodreads, but people just aren't talking about it that much on BookTok or BookTube, whatever. It did start out pretty slow, but there was a plot twist early on that I actually talked about, but I cut that clip out because I didn't want to spoil anything. And let's just say early on there was one of those moments where you realize everything is not what it seems, and so from that point I was looking at everything from a different angle and trying to figure out what was happening. I was invested. Don't know what I'm gonna rate that. Maybe 3.5, 4 stars. And then I told you I was going to wrap this video up with my thoughts on this challenge, and I have been editing this video all day and I just feel silly because I did not do anything revolutionary in this vlog. I left the house to read. I went to the beach. I went to cafes. I got coffee. I went for a walk. Like, I went to the library. None of that is crazy, but just kind of look at it from my perspective. I'm antisocial. I'm a homebody. When my husband Sam goes out of town, I don't leave my house. I don't talk to anybody for a week. I don't hear my own voice for a week unless I'm vlogging. I'm so comfortable just being home, and I hate that. And it sounds bad because when I go hang out with people and I see my friends, I have the best time, and I'm actually kind of extroverted in those situations. I adapt to the situation and people around me. I can perform, act, I don't know. Does that make sense? Like, I'm definitely not quiet, but I do love my cozy me time at home, and I love reading at home because it's quiet. I'm crazy, okay? I don't like noise. I don't like to hear people chewing gum, talking too loud, sneezing, coughing. Why would I leave house if house is perfect? But I did have fun doing this video, and I found some great spots that I will actually be going back to because they were quiet and comfortable and cozy, just like my house. I will say though, I don't think I got more reading done than I normally do, because by the time you travel to these places and get settled in and get comfortable, you're wasting like an hour or more of your time. So maybe I'll challenge myself to go read in one of these spots once or twice a week. I think that's pretty doable, especially because I live close to a park that I like reading at, but maybe I'll go back to the library every now and then. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. I thought it was creative for me, so comment down below, gas me up if you like this at all, and tell me if you want me to do this again, because there were a few spots that I didn't get to, and I'd love to make this video again if you guys want to see that. So don't forget to like and subscribe. That would make me so happy if you guys stuck around. I make bookish videos every week, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Oh, 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 oh.